Hey there folks, Tim Slade here from the eLearning Designers Academy, and in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly why you need a portfolio if you want to be successful as an e-learning designer or an instructional designer. And here's a hint. The answer isn't just because it's what everyone else seems to be doing. There's actually a little bit more to the story, so stick around. You know, if you're one of those folks looking to land an e-learning or an instructional design job, you've probably been told that you need to have a portfolio, right? But beyond the fact that you've just been told that you need to have one, and it just seems like it's what everyone else is doing, do you really understand why a portfolio is so very critical to getting hired as an e-learning designer or an instructional designer? Well, you know, the truth is, there was a time when portfolios weren't really a thing in our industry. Having a portfolio was really limited to people working in some sort of creative field like photography, graphic design, fashion, or architecture. But then things started to change. You know, at some point, having a portfolio became something that was critical for those working as freelance e-learning or instructional designers. But now, if we fast forward to the present, portfolios are becoming a more and more common and expected part of being a competitive candidate in what is quickly becoming a crowded job market. And why is this? Well, I think it comes down to two reasons that most people don't realize or connect with one another. First, it has to do with the tools that we use every single day. You know, there was a time when instructional designers were purely focused on instructional design. And that meant if you wanted to create something like an e-learning course, you likely had to partner with someone who had a very specialized and often expensive skill set to develop that e-learning course using custom code or a complicated program like Adobe Flash or, whatever the case might be. However, nowadays, the tools that we use have become easier and easier to use and more accessible to the folks working in our industry. I mean, if you look at a tool like Articulate Storyline, for example, it's no coincidence that it looks and operates a heck of a lot like Microsoft PowerPoint. And who working in our industry doesn't know how to use PowerPoint, am I right? So what does this at all have to do with why it's so important for you to have a portfolio? Well, this brings me to my second point, and that has to do with showcasing your skills. You see, because the tools we use every day are becoming more powerful and easier to use, there's been a greater and greater expectation for you as an e-learning designer or an instructional designer or however you define yourself. There's greater expectation that you're able to use these tools. Gone are the days when instructional designers focus just on instructional design, or graphic designers focus on graphic design, or project managers focused on project management, or LMS administrators focused on LMS administration. If you're a learning professional working in our industry, there's a strong chance that you need to be able to do a little bit of everything. And that's what I like to call a T-shaped employee or a T-shaped learning professional. It's someone who has broad ability and deep expertise. And so, what does this mean from a hiring standpoint? Well, I know I've said this like a million times before, but it means that more and more employers are hiring for the skills you can offer right now, rather than your years of experience or your education credentials. And because employers are looking to hire for skills, it means they want to see tangible evidence of those skills. You see, a resume does a really good job of listing your job history and your education in chronological order. But it does a really lousy job of validating your skills. And yeah, of course, you can list that you know how to develop visually engaging and interactive e-learning content with tools like Articulate Storyline, but I can also put on my resume that I'm a pretty awesome salsa dancer. You know what? Something tells me that folks who would want to see or hire me as a salsa dancer would probably want to see me do some salsa dancing before they'd hire me. And trust me, no one's going to hire me for being a salsa dancer. I'm not a salsa dancer, by the way. My point here is that a portfolio is living evidence that you can do the things that you say you can do. And trust me, I used to hire and manage e-learning designers and instructional designers before I started my own business. And you would be amazed. You'd be shocked at the number of candidates who submit their resumes and apply for jobs and don't have a portfolio whatsoever. And so, if you want to land an e-learning job or an instructional design job, you need to have a portfolio and you need to put a link to it on your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and really anywhere else. All right, so those are the two reasons why you need to have an e-learning or an instructional design portfolio, which of course leads me to my question of the day. What are some other reasons why it's important to have a portfolio? Share your thoughts, your comments, your tips by commenting below. All right, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click that subscribe button below. And of course, if you want to learn more about building your e-learning or your instructional design portfolio or growing your e-learning or instructional design career, make sure to check out the eLearning Designers Academy at elearningacademy.io. My name is Tim Slade, and until next time, I will see you around.